Team Achieve. This is Molly Dixon from Eugene, Oregon, and thank you all so much for commenting on the display that my husband and I created. I really wish I could take credit for it, for the idea, but I actually saw it from another rep way back, I think last summer, and then I couldn't find the picture, so we just had to do some trial and error. And I just thought it'd be easier to post a video so you wouldn't have to go through what we went through to get this to work. When we first did it, we made it way high and it was just way too unstable. So we picked this. I picked this height because if it's sitting on a card table or a display table, if you're not too tall, you can still see underneath it. And also, so let me just start with the base. We started with a 2x4. As we discovered, it wasn't as stable as it should have been. So we had to create legs here to make it more stable because, you know, especially if it's outside, it could get knocked over. So if you make it, I would suggest using a 2x6. So it's nice and heavy and much more stable. So that's the first thing I would suggest. And then what we used was PVC pipe, and it's flexible. It's not super flexible, but it's flexible. So for those of you who are thinking of trying to make this into a heart, it's not going to happen with this particular material. If you want to try other material, go ahead. So then what we did was on the bottles, we drilled just a pilot hole. We wanted the name to be as centered as possible. So Stephen just drilled a tiny hole through and through to get things started. And then he used 5/8 inch butterfly drill. And he put this in the pilot hole and zoom. And then we turned it over, zoom. And you had to really drill to make sure the plastic came out, because if you didn't get all the plastic out, it was really hard to push it through. And I didn't want it to where they were just flopping around. I wanted them to be really, really sturdy. So it works. The other thing is, because it was a little top heavy, we used a flexible steel wire, and to get it upright, I put it under the board here, pulled it tight, and then we just put a screw here, and I just went around a few times, and voila. I mean, unless you're up close, you really couldn't see the wire, but it really held it steady. So those were a couple things. If you made it a little shorter or you made the base stronger. The other thing I think which is key is the bolts that we used. Whoa! This is a 4-inch bolt. So we put, you know, I forget how wide it is. Sorry guys. 3/8 by 4 inches. And I think if I ever did it again, I would get a much bigger bolt, because I'm thinking the higher the bolt, the more steady it would be, and maybe you wouldn't need that wire. So I don't know if they make 8-inch bolts, but I would try that. And as you can see, you know, it just, oh, I've got the wire on. Okay, it just slips over the bolt, and voila, there's your Juice Plus display, everybody.